Right, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Anybody watching? Oh. So I think I'm on time. Hello from Orkney. Just done a video on this IMEV that I've basically got back on the road. And just switch the camera around. There we go. It's looking really bright. It's not perfect, but it'll really suit somebody. I think this could go to a Northern Isles customer probably. Great little island car. I'm going to do the video later on today, but everything's here. And this is the one that I got back. Oh, hello, Brian. Hello, Johnny. Hello. And there we go. So I just thought I'd do a little YouTube live broadcast. I've not done one of these for a while. Welcome to sunny Orkney. Well, not sunny at the minute. Gary Smith. Hello, Gary Smith. Kirkwall is over there, and I think it's rainy. It's the great thing about Orkney is that you can often see the weather coming. So that's Kirkwall. As the crow flies, it's about 9 miles away. But you can very often see weather coming here. And yeah, beautiful day here today. Got those wind turbines. I did some filming last week up there with this little car, which I'm hoping I can get it edited soon. So I'll pop that on. Am I missing some comments? Let's have a look. Live. Yeah, it is. It's a great little run around. And hello, John Wilson. This cost me, I might as well tell you now because it's going to be in my video. This cost me £1,000. What do you think to that? £1,000 for a 2011 February 2011 70,000 mile, 68,000 mile Mitsubishi IMEV. It's been in the wars. It's not the best, but it's still a great usable car, electric vehicle. So this is the one where I had to drop the battery pack to do some serious welding. Yeah, pleasure iron's great. It was a bargain. Needed quite a lot of TLC, to be honest. So it's been doing a lot of short runs, but I've had around 45, 46 miles on the gasometer. But again, as I say in my video, UK average is 22 miles a day. So this would suit a huge amount of people who just want a little cheap and cheerful run around. So yes, it cost me £1,000. I bought it from a customer in Aberdeen, so it came up on the boat. And it's been here since October, November. My great body shop in town, Hatston Motors, they were sort of doing it as cheaply as possible. So it was sort of on the back burner. So if they didn't have any work, they'd do little bits to it. I'm even the Isle of Wight. It's a great little car for an island. It is. Yes, it is a great little car. It's the same as the Peugeot Ion and the Citroen C0 are all based on a Mitsubishi IMEV. But interestingly, as you probably all know, with the switch the camera around, with the Mitsubishi, you get these extra settings on the gear selector, if you like. So on the Peugeot Ion and the Citroen C0, the selector will only go down to D for drive, and this piece of plastic sort of stops there. But the Mitsubishi said, oh, we've held back a super duper special gearbox, which always makes me laugh. Basically, it's a different piece of plastic, because on the Peugeot and the Citroen, if you buy this part and fit it to a Citroen or a Peugeot, then you get these extra settings. It's just a piece of blanking plate. Underneath here, there's some plastic which you have to drill out. It is virtually a DIY job, and you'll get these extra settings so that it even appears on the dash. So from drive, you can go to B for extra engine braking, and then down for C for cruise, which is hardly any regen. So yeah, you can do this modification on your Peugeot or your Citroen C0. It's got the most ridiculous sound system in the world, which I'm going to replace. Came with a little Sony set of buttons, and sometimes this thing powers up and sometimes it doesn't. And when it does power up, to change stations, you have to use this remote. You can't do it on the screen. Totally ridiculous. So I'm going to take this out and just fit a normal DIN radio CD player with an actual knob on it. Because looking for this whilst you're driving to turn the volume up and down, it's not safe. But yeah, it's a great little thing, cheap and cheerful. As will be coming out of my video, it cost me £1,000. I spent probably the best part of, I don't know, off and on 2 weeks helping drop the battery pack and doing some minor repairs, and then I let the professionals put it through an MOT. I put 2 new rear tyres on it, lots of suspension work, lots of welding was needed. So all in all, I spent £1,900 in getting this back up to a roadworthy condition. So as it stands, it owes me £2,900, which, to be honest, for a 60 plate 10-year IMEV, that's what, well, if I saw these going through an auction, even in its present state, it's easily £3,500 all day long, possibly more. But the reason I did it really wasn't to make a profit. It's just to show that, you know, there's nothing wrong with the battery and the mechanicals. It's still, yes, there's been some degradation, but it's still a usable electric vehicle. And it was just too good to throw away. It was too good to be scrapped. Now, if I was competent enough and I could do some welding, I could have done it a lot cheaper. Left the welding to see with the professionals. But it's sort of, you know, we throw too much stuff away, don't we? If it can be recycled, reused, and that has all now been undersealed underneath. Would you like to see underneath? I bet you would. Let's have a quick look underneath. So underneath, as you can see, I had it all. You can't really see much, but I had it all basically undersealed. And where the battery pack is, let's just see if I can get you underneath. We had it all undersealed. So there we go. Should be more easily repairable at a reasonable cost. Well, it was. It's just an awful lot of welding, and dropping the battery pack was relatively straightforward, but oh my word, they weigh a lot. There's a lot of weight in that pack, which again you can see from my videos. This has got normal charging and also the CHAdeMO. As you charge it for your 3-pin plug or your fast charger at 3.3 kilowatts. On the other side is the CHAdeMO rapid charge DC connection, which works. So check that out with our rapid charger here as well. So yeah, it's a nice little thing. I'm in no rush to sell it. It can probably go to somebody who just wants a cheap run around here on Orkney. The other thing I did notice, it's got different coloured wing mirrors. The previous person, I think this got broken. He had one off another Peugeot Ion, so it doesn't match. But again, it's not the end of the world. It's just a cheap runaround. Even the power folding electric mirrors still working. All the electric windows. Yeah. You test drove one in Colorado, really liked it. Yeah, I know in the States there's quite a few of these around. 23, yeah, so let me see if I can find your comment again. Why did it need welding? Well, if you see my previous video on this, there was a fair amount of rot. So if you've got a 2015 model, I do advise just spend some money and pay a garage to steam clean underneath, and with a wax oil equipment you can put a probe through the box sections and just coat it in wax oil, or good quality underseal it, and it will last. But yeah, if you've got a 2015 model, I strongly advise you do that. It'll save you a lot of money in the long run, because these do suffer from rot basically. And of course up here in coastal areas they're more susceptible. This was actually from just north of Aberdeen where this lived, from New. So with the salt air, it didn't do any good. So yeah, if you've got one of these, get them under sealed. In fact, the gentleman that I bought this off, I sold him an i3 about 2 years ago, and he offered this car to me. So we negotiated and bought it off him because he was buying a Model 3. Going from a Mitsubishi i-MiEV to a Tesla Model 3. Not much of a jump, is it? So if no one's got any more questions, I'm going to sign off. I just thought I'd do one of these. Cracking little cars. Been some degradation to the pack at, where are we, 69,470 miles. But as I said earlier, if you do the UK average of 22 miles a day, then, you know, this is 2 days worth. Just plug it in where you sleep, on your drive. It's still got lots of life left in it. Well, that's really good, Roland. My next car will be electric. That's fantastic. Lots of choice. Just do loads of test drives. Look on the internet, social media about people. Oh, Caroline. Hello, Caroline. My friend from Jersey who I met at Fully Charged. You've got a Peugeot wine, haven't you? Charged on Sunshine yesterday. 75 miles on the gasometer. Not bad for a 2012 lady. Wonderful, fun bug cars. They are great. I love the way they drive, Caroline. They're like little go-karts. And they're nice and narrow. So, if, you know, for towns, you know, parking, they're absolutely great. If I have a choice between, if I'm going into a city and I've got a choice between a Nissan Leaf or a Tesla or a Peugeot Ion, I'd take the Peugeot Ion or Citroen C0 or Mitsubishi i-MiEV because they're nice and narrow. Get down the smallest of streets, and yeah, really nice little cars. Narrow in Jersey is essential, right? Excellent. Well, good to chat to you all. It was only going to be a brief broadcast just to see if anyone's got any questions about this. I'm going to be putting it on my website soon. I think this will probably stay on Orkney. I'm going to price it at £3,995. Do you think that's reasonable? It owes me just under £3,000. That's not counting my time. So I thought £3,995. I think someone's going to buy this for £4,000. It's in the winter. Yeah, I mean, the i-MiEV in the winter, it's got the old resistor heater. So it will take a huge amount of energy to provide any heat. Very reasonable. Well, that's what I like to be, Paul. I like to be reasonable. I just want to get bums on the seats of EVs as cheaply as possible. But we're not going to talk about that. Otherwise, you'll think this is just a sales YouTube live broadcast thing. So thanks for watching. And heated blankets keep me warm. Very good. Yeah, you can get a plug-in heated blanket. In fact, I had one of those for my Twizy. My wife used to take it to work, and the Twizy's got no heater, so I bought her a plug-in electric blanket, and that just sort of helped. It's a fair price. That was the budget for 27 model when we were looking. Yeah. Well, if anything, these are going up in value as well. Yes, that's right. And Caroline's also got an EMV combi van. Better than a Twizy in the winter. Well, the Twizy does put a smile on your face. I do miss my Twizy that's now in Bristol. The Twizy that my good friend James Coates drove from Aberdeen down to Fully Charged twice. Did it once last year, and he also did it in 2018 for the first Fully Charged. He drove it all the way down to Hinckley and then on down to Silverstone. Quite mad, but yeah, James has got a soft spot for the Twizy. £7,000 for a 2015 model. That was a good price, my friend. There's 3 2017 Peugeot Ions on British car auctions going through this week, ex-lease, low miles, and I expect they're going to be £7,500 to the trade. So they're holding the value up really well. Anyway, I'm going to sign off. Thanks for watching. Battery release on the Twizy is, while mine is gone, yeah, there are strong rumours, and I keep hearing reports of people saying there's no longer any battery lease on their Twizy and their Zoes. So I don't quite know what battery upgrade for the I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, I sold my IMEV for the same price that I bought it for 12 months later. Yeah, not surprised. Not surprised at all. I'm going to sign off. Thanks for all your comments, and be sure to check out the video for this. And also my other video is doing rather well. It's getting lots of comments from diesel petrol lovers. My 100,000 mile ENV 200 video, edited by Ink Sharkman, the great Mark Ink Sharkman. And he did all the graphics for me and everything. So just check that out. That's going to be one of my best videos ever, mainly down to Mark's fantastic editing. But check that out. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. I have to figure out how to stop streaming.